Hi, people. So, obviously, I'm not there today, but I still wanted to go over the notes with y'all. So, we should have these notes in front of us. It says that we are graphing in HK form today. So, HK form. Last time I saw you, we were graphing in slope intercept form. Now we're going on to our second form, which is HK. This is still going to give us a line. We're still graphing today. The only difference between this and the last one that we did is that our formula looks a little bit different. So instead of y equals mx plus b, which is what we saw last time and was kind of a review, we now have a slightly different form. Now it looks similar. It's got a little bit or a slightly different formula going on here. We still have our y, we still have our m, we still have an x, and then the rest looks a little crazy, but that's okay. So, before, when we were doing our y equals mx plus b, keep in mind, our m was our slope, and our b was our y-intercept, right? So, our m is still going to be our slope, but this time we don't have a b. Instead of b, they give us an h and a k. And what that is going to give us is a coordinate. So it's still giving us a starting point, but this time the point won't be on our y-axis like it was last time. Now we're going to have to plot a separate point and then try to add on using our slope from there. So, like I said, our m is still going to be our slope, or the rate of change like we talked about last time. And then our h and our k are going to give us a coordinate. Now, our formula includes a minus sign. Now, this one is a little bit weird. So something to keep in mind, whenever we see an h in a problem, or h in basically any formula, make your h the opposite sign of what it tells you. And that's because it has this minus sign here. That minus sign changes our coordinates a little bit here. So, you'll kind of see what I mean by that in the example a little bit better. But what I want you to put on your paper is that we get a point from our h and our k, but it's going to be opposite h and our k. All right? Keep that in mind. Still just like a coordinate, these are going to be x and y values. So this point, our h, is going to move from side to side, depending on what sign you have in front of it. And our k is going to either move up or down, depending on what sign is in front of that one. Okay? So just like we did in the warm-up today, you're going to have to plot the point first and then use your slope to add on. Okay? Let's put that in our steps here. Very, very similar to what we had for our slope-intercept form. We're going to graph the starting point, or we said that was going to be our opposite h and our k. All right. Step number 2 is going to be adding points to the line using the slope. Like I said, these are very, very similar to what we did before, only instead of them giving us a y-intercept where we're just going on the line, we now have to plot a separate point and then add on using our slope pattern like we've done before. So let's take a look at our first example. Okay. We have y equals 4 parentheses x minus 3 plus 2. Okay, let's identify some pieces. I know my 4 is going to be, too big. My 4 is going to be my m. That's my slope. 3 is going to be our h. And 2 is going to be our k. All right? So, slope works exactly the way we've done slope before. We're going to put it over 1 so that we can see exactly what direction we're going to move in. Remember, M for move. We have a positive 4 on top, so that's telling me that I'm going to go up 4 and then over to the right 1 because both of these numbers are positive. So we're going to have a positive slope on this line. All right, next part is going to be that opposite h comma k. So that's going to be the point that we start with. Now, looking at this, I see that we have a minus 3. Now, like I said before, since our formula has this minus sign in it, that means we're going to have our opposite h for our coordinate. Opposite of minus is going to be plus. So I'm going to have a positive 3 in my coordinate. And then I have k, and that's just going to stay the same. The only thing that's going to be opposite is the h. So that's telling me that I'm going to start at the point 3, 2. All right. So just like our direction said, we'll start with our point, and then we'll use our slope to add on more points. So I'm going to go to my graph. I'm going to start at the origin, and then I'm going to go over to 3, because the first one goes over, and I'm going to go up to 2. So my first point is going to be right here. That's where I'm going to start from. Okay, great. So now we have our slope that we need. This says that it's positive 4, so I got to go up 4 over 1. I'm seeing a problem though. I'm going up 1, 2, 3. I don't have enough room to go up 4. So instead of going off of my graph, I'm going to keep it in this space. If I can't move forward any farther, I'm going to have to go backwards. So doing the exact opposite of what it's telling me to do. Instead of going up 4, I'm going down 4. Instead of going right 3, I'm going left 3. So I'm going to go, sorry, not 3, 1. I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. So my next point will be right here. I'm going to try and go again, but same problem I ran into up top. I don't have any more space. So this line is only going to have 2 points on it. Like I said, we have seen a few like this before when we did our notes last time I saw you. And that's fine. I'm going to connect my dots, draw my line, and that's all you need to do. Okay? This is a very, very similar process to what we did last time. Only instead of giving us a point that's on the y-axis, we now have a point that's kind of in the middle of everything. Okay? But we're still using our slope as a pattern. Still doing that. It's just now we have to plot a random point first. All right, let's move on to the next one. We have y equals 2 parentheses x plus 1. All right, looking at this, I know I have my slope, which is m. I have my h, which is 1. And I don't have a k, though. There's nothing here. That's okay, though. So we talked about this last time I saw you. If you don't have anything and you're supposed to be adding on a point, or sorry, adding on a number, you're going to be adding on a 0. Just like we did with our slope-intercept problems that didn't have a y-intercept, same idea. If there's nothing to add on, it's going to be a 0. Cool. So my slope, I had 2. Again, I'm going to put that over 1 so I know what direction I'm moving in. It's a positive 2, so it's telling me I'm moving up 2 to the right 1. I have my h and my k that I need next. So looking at my h, I want the opposite of what it's telling me. I have plus 1, so I'm going to have negative 1 in my coordinate. I have a 0 for my k, so I'm just going to copy that 0 into my point. All right, so my point is going to be negative 1, 0. My slope is going to be up 2 over 1. Okay, starting with my point. I'm going to take negative 1, comma 0. Remember, your first number is moving from side to side. Your second number is moving up or down. So I have a -1. That's telling me that when I start at 0, I'm going to go over 1 and then stay at 0 because that's where the 0 line is, right? I can't go up or down from there. I'm going to stay right here. -1, 0 is going to be right on the line. That doesn't always happen, but I just wanted to show you one that looked like that. Okay, that's my point. We had -1, 0 right here. All right, next thing, I'm going to use my slope to draw the rest of the line. I'm going up 2 over 1 from the point I just put down. Up 1, 2 over 1. Here's where my next point is going to go. Again, I'm going to go up 2 over 1. And now I see that I can't go any farther because I've run out of graph. So if I can't go forward anymore, I'm going to need to go backwards. So going backwards from our last point, I'm going to go down 2 over 1. Again, I'm going to go down 2 over 1. And now I've run out of space again. So I'm just going to connect my dots. And now I have my line. Cool. Let's try the next one. Okay, oh, looks different again. That's okay, we're fine. So we have y equals parentheses x minus 3 minus 2. Okay, so this time it looks like we're missing our m. There's nothing there. So usually our m is being multiplied by whatever is on the outside, is being multiplied by the parentheses here. So if we're multiplying and there's nothing there, there should be an invisible number that goes in this space. And that invisible number is going to be 1. I know that looks a little bit different than what we did when we were missing our k. But, oops, I didn't mean to do that. But it's still the same idea. It's just different operations are happening here. So I added on a 0 because we were adding on nothing. For my m, we're multiplying by something that's not going to change it. So that's going to be a 1. All right. So if you're missing a k or an h, it's going to be 0. If you're missing your m, it's going to be 1. All right. With that in mind, let's keep going. I know I have my h and I know I have my k. All right. If my m is 1, that's my slope. I'm going to put it over 1. It's a positive 1, so I'm going to say we're going up 1 over 1. And then I need my hk point. Looking at my number, I have a -3 for my h. I want the opposite sign of negative, so that's going to be positive 3. And then my k is just going to get copied straight down. K does not need to change. It's only the h that changes. Okay, now going on to my graph, I know I need to put 3, -2 on my graph. Again, your first number is moving from side to side. Your second number is moving up or down. So if I have a +3, I'm going to start at the origin. I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3. And I have a -2, so I'm going down 1, 2, right here. All right. So now I'm going to go in with my slope. We said that was up 1 over 1. So I'm just going to start where my point is. I'm going to go up 1 over 1 right here. Up 1 over 1. I've run out of space, so I can't go any farther forward, so I'm going to go backwards. Starting at the back here, I'm going to go down 1 over 1. I'm going down 1 over 1. down 1 over 1. There we go. There's my line. Okay, so be careful when you're plotting your H and K points. That's usually the trickiest part. I already know that y'all know how to use your slope formula because we did so well with it the last time I saw you. So try your best with this. If you have questions, try and look back at these notes, okay? You should all have them written down by now. If you don't, we'll leave it up here for a second, but you should all have the notes because we all know how to be people in this class, okay? So from here, I'm going to have y'all work on the last few problems that are on here. There are 6 problems. We'll give you a few minutes to work on that. When you're done, we're going to come back to this video and we're going to do number 2, 3, and 6. Okay, just for double checking purposes. I'll see you in a few minutes.